Part 1, The Orc Girl Everyone Feared. The story begins in a small human village surrounded by dark forests and towering mountains. The villagers live simple lives, but they have one rule that everyone follows: stay away from the old blacksmith at the edge of town. The reason is Mara, a young orc woman who works there. Mara is tall, powerful, and intimidating. Her green skin, sharp tusks, and muscular build make the villagers afraid of her. Whenever she walks through the village, people become silent. Mothers pull their children closer, shopkeepers avoid looking at her, and some villagers even cross the street to stay away from her. They have heard stories about orcs being violent monsters, and they assume Mara must be the same. But the truth is completely different. Mara is one of the kindest people in the village. She spends most of her days repairing farming tools, horseshoes, and weapons for the villagers. She never asks for more money than necessary, and when someone cannot afford to pay, she quietly helps them anyway. She also secretly leaves food outside the homes of elderly villagers during difficult winters. Unfortunately, nobody notices her kindness because they are too frightened by her appearance. One evening, a young traveler named Elias arrives in the village. He is a wandering swordsman who has spent years traveling from kingdom to kingdom. Unlike the villagers, Elias does not immediately judge Mara. He has encountered many different races during his travels and has learned that appearances can be deceiving. Elias's journey takes an unexpected turn when his sword breaks during a fight with bandits. With no money to buy a new weapon, he is told to visit the orc blacksmith. At first, Elias is nervous when he meets Mara. She is enormous compared to him, and her deep voice makes him uncomfortable. But instead of threatening him, Mara carefully examines his sword and explains exactly what went wrong. She agrees to repair it. While working, Mara discovers that Elias has a deep cut on his arm. Without hesitation, she stops what she is doing and treats his wound. Elias is surprised. He asks why she would help someone who clearly fears her. Mara simply replies that being afraid of someone does not mean they deserve to suffer. Those words stay with Elias. Over the next few days, Elias visits the blacksmith repeatedly. At first, he claims that he is only checking on his sword. But gradually, he realizes that he actually enjoys spending time with Mara. He discovers that she loves flowers, despite pretending to be tough. She has a dry sense of humor and secretly enjoys teasing him. She also dreams of traveling beyond the mountains, something she has never been allowed to do because of her responsibilities to her clan. Elias begins seeing the woman behind the frightening appearance. One afternoon, Mara helps an elderly farmer repair a broken wagon without accepting payment. As she walks away, Elias watches her from a distance. He realizes that Mara has spent her entire life helping people who are too afraid to appreciate her. Feeling sincere admiration, Elias smiles and says, "Whoever marries you will be lucky." Mara immediately freezes. For the first time, Elias sees her become genuinely shy. The confident blacksmith who can lift heavy weapons without effort suddenly cannot look him in the eyes. After a long silence, she quietly whispers, "I was hoping it was you." Elias is completely stunned. He had meant the words as a compliment, never realizing that Mara had developed feelings for him. But now he begins to wonder if his own feelings are stronger than he has admitted. Before he can respond, however, a group of villagers arrives with terrible news. A nearby orc clan has been accused of attacking humans, and the village leaders believe Mara may have been involved. The villagers immediately turn against her. Elias refuses to believe them. Mara, however, knows something Elias does not. The attack is connected to her past, and if the truth is revealed, she may lose the only person who has ever truly seen her for who she is. The story ends part 1 with Elias standing beside Mara as the villagers surround them. For the first time, Mara is no longer alone. And Elias realizes that protecting her may mean fighting against an entire village that has already decided she is a monster. The villagers' accusations leave the entire town in chaos. According to the village elders, a group of orc raiders attacked a human farming settlement several miles away. Several buildings were burned, livestock were stolen, and 2 villagers were seriously injured. The survivors claimed that the attackers belonged to the Bloodfawn clan, a powerful orc tribe known for its violent raids. The moment Mara hears the name, her expression changes. Elias notices it immediately. Until now, Mara has always appeared confident and strong. But when the village elder mentions the Bloodfawn clan, her face becomes pale. Her hands tighten into fists, and for a moment, Elias sees something that looks like fear. The villagers notice it too. They immediately assume her reaction proves her guilt. One of the elders points at her and demands to know why she knows the name of the clan. Another villager shouts that Mara must have secretly helped the raiders. Soon, the entire crowd is accusing her of betraying the humans who allowed her to live among them. Elias steps between Mara and the angry villagers. He reminds them that Mara has spent years repairing their tools, protecting their farms, and helping their families. He asks them how they can accuse her without evidence. But fear has already taken control of the crowd. Mara quietly tells Elias to stop. She says he does not understand. Elias turns toward her, confused. Mara finally reveals the truth. She was born into the Bloodfawn clan. The villagers immediately react with horror. Mara explains that the Bloodfawn clan was once her home, but she abandoned them many years ago. Her father was the clan's former war chief, a brutal orc who believed humans and orcs could never live together peacefully. He raised Mara to become a warrior and expected her to inherit his position one day. But Mara hated the violence. As a young girl, she secretly helped human prisoners escape whenever she could. Eventually, her father discovered what she had been doing. He punished her severely and declared her a traitor. Mara escaped the clan and came to the human village. She expected the humans to hate her. Instead, the village blacksmith gave her a place to work. For years, Mara lived quietly, hoping that she could leave her past behind. But now the past had returned. Elias asks whether the Bloodfawn clan could be responsible for the recent attack. Mara says yes. She knows the clan's methods. She knows their symbols. Most importantly, she knows that the attack was not random. The Bloodfawn clan is preparing for something much bigger. They are planning to attack the human villages along the border. The recent raid was only the beginning. The villagers refuse to believe her. They think Mara is simply trying to protect her former clan. Then something unexpected happens. An injured human survivor is brought into the village. He is barely conscious, but when he sees Mara, he recognizes her. He tells everyone that the attackers were led by a massive orc warrior with a scar across his face. Mara immediately knows who it is. Her older brother, Garrick. Garrick was the most loyal follower of their father and is now the leader of the Bloodfawn warriors. Mara realizes that Garrick has come looking for her. And if he discovers that she is living among humans, he will not stop until he brings her back, or kills her. That night, Elias finds Mara sitting alone outside the blacksmith. For the first time, she admits that she is terrified. Not for herself. For Elias. She tells him that he should leave the village before Garrick arrives. If he stays beside her, the Bloodfawn clan will consider him an enemy. Elias reminds her of what she said earlier. He asks if she truly meant it when she said she had hoped he would be the one to marry her. Mara becomes embarrassed and tries to change the subject. But Elias does not let her. He tells her that he meant what he said too. Whoever marries her will be lucky. And perhaps, he says, he is beginning to wonder if he might be the lucky man. Mara looks at him with tears in her eyes. But before she can answer, a terrifying horn echoes from the distant mountains. The Bloodfawn clan has arrived. Hundreds of orc warriors are marching toward the village. And at the front of the army stands Mara's brother, Garrick. The man who has come to take his sister home. The sound of the war horn spreads through the village like a death sentence. Everyone knows what it means. The Bloodfawn clan has arrived. The villagers rush to their homes, locking doors and gathering whatever weapons they can find. Men who once mocked Mara now hide behind wooden walls. The village elders order everyone to prepare for an attack, while Elias stands near the main gate, watching the dark mountain road. Mara stands beside him. For the first time, Elias sees her wearing armor. It is old and battered, decorated with the symbol of her former clan. She carries a massive axe across her back, a weapon far too heavy for any ordinary human warrior. Elias realizes something important. The villagers have always feared Mara because of what she looks like. But they have never understood what she is capable of. Mara is not simply a blacksmith. She is a warrior. A very dangerous one. As the Bloodfang warriors approach, their leader steps forward. Garrick. Mara's older brother is enormous, even by orc standards. A long scar crosses one side of his face, and his armor is covered with trophies from countless battles. He looks at the village with contempt. Then his eyes find Mara. For a moment, neither sibling speaks. Garrick finally tells Mara to come home. He says their father is dead, and the Bloodfang clan needs a new leader. According to tradition, Mara is the rightful heir. Mara refuses. She tells Garrick that the clan has spent generations destroying lives and that she will never return to them. Garrick laughs. He reminds her that she was born an orc warrior and will always belong to the Bloodfang clan. Then he notices Elias standing beside her. Garrick's expression changes. He asks who the human is. Mara immediately steps in front of Elias. Garrick understands. He smiles and realizes that Elias is important to her. He tells Mara that she has become weak. Mara responds that choosing peace does not make someone weak. Garrick challenges her. If Mara defeats him in single combat, the Bloodfang clan will leave the village forever. But if she loses, she must return with them. The villagers are horrified. Elias tells Mara she does not have to accept. But Mara knows that if she refuses, Garrick will attack the village anyway. So she agrees. The battle begins at sunrise. The entire village gathers to watch. Mara and Garrick fight with enormous strength. Their weapons crash together, shaking the ground beneath them. Garrick is stronger, but Mara is faster. She fights with discipline rather than rage, using the techniques she learned as a child. Elias watches anxiously. During the battle, Garrick taunts his sister. He tells her that she has become a servant to humans. Mara refuses to answer. Instead, she remembers the people she has helped. The farmer whose wagon she repaired. The elderly woman whose roof she fixed. The children who secretly visited her workshop because they were fascinated by her stories. And Elias. For the first time in her life, Mara realizes that she does not fight because she hates someone. She fights because she has something worth protecting. That realization gives her strength. Mara finally defeats Garrick. But instead of killing him, she lowers her weapon. She tells him that she will not become like their father. Garrick is furious. He refuses to accept defeat. But then something unexpected happens. The Bloodfang warriors begin lowering their weapons. Many of them have secretly questioned Garrick's leadership. They have heard stories about Mara's kindness and know that she has always been different from the rest of the clan. Garrick realizes that he has lost more than a battle. He has lost the loyalty of his people. He retreats with his remaining warriors, promising that the conflict is not over. After the battle, the villagers begin to see Mara differently. For years, they believed she was a monster. Now they realize that she was the one who protected them. Later that evening, Elias finds Mara sitting alone near the edge of the forest. She is injured and exhausted. Elias gently treats her wounds. Mara jokes that he looks terrible at being a healer. Elias laughs. Then the conversation becomes serious. He asks her why she never told him about her past. Mara admits that she was afraid. She feared that if Elias knew who she really was, he would look at her the same way the villagers had always looked at her. Elias tells her that he could never see her as a monster. Then Mara asks him something unexpected. She asks whether he still believes that whoever marries her will be lucky. Elias smiles. This time, he does not hesitate. He tells her that he is beginning to think he was wrong. Mara looks disappointed. Then Elias continues. He says he was wrong because he no longer thinks it will be whoever marries her. He thinks it might be him. Mara's eyes widen. But before either of them can say anything more, a messenger arrives from the neighboring kingdom. The king has heard about the Blood Fawn attack. And he has a different plan. He believes Mara is the key to ending the war between humans and orcs. But his solution is not friendship. It is marriage. The king wants Mara to marry a powerful human nobleman to create a political alliance. And suddenly, Elias realizes that the woman he is falling in love with may soon be promised to someone else. The king's proposal changes everything. After the Blood Fawn clan retreats, Mara is taken to the capital with Elias and several village representatives. The king believes Mara's connection to the orc clans makes her valuable. If she marries a powerful human nobleman, the marriage could create a political alliance and prevent another war. Mara is not given much choice. The man selected for her is Lord Cedric, a wealthy nobleman from one of the kingdom's most powerful families. Cedric is handsome, educated, and respected by the court. But Mara does not love him. In fact, she barely knows him. The king insists that love is not important. Peace is. Mara reluctantly agrees to meet Cedric. Elias watches from a distance. He tells himself that he has no right to be jealous. Mara is free to choose her future, and Elias has never officially told her that he loves her. Still, every time Cedric speaks to Mara, Elias feels something painful in his chest. He begins avoiding her. Mara notices. She tries to speak with him several times, but Elias always finds an excuse to leave. Eventually, Mara becomes frustrated and confronts him. She asks why he is suddenly acting like a stranger. Elias tells her that nothing is wrong. Mara immediately knows he is lying. She reminds him that he was the first human who ever treated her like a person instead of a monster. She asks why he is now treating her differently. Elias finally admits the truth. He says he does not want to watch her marry another man. Mara is stunned. Elias immediately regrets saying it. He tells her that he knows the marriage could save thousands of lives and that he would never ask her to sacrifice peace for him. But Mara asks the question that Elias has been avoiding. What if I don't want to marry him? Elias looks at her. He tells her that she should choose the life that makes her happy. Mara becomes frustrated. She says she has spent her entire life choosing what everyone else wanted. Her father wanted her to become a warrior. The Blood Fawn clan wanted her to become their leader. The humans wanted her to prove she was not a monster. And now the king wants her to marry a stranger. But nobody has ever asked what she wants. Elias finally understands. Mara does not need someone to rescue her. She needs someone who will stand beside her while she chooses her own future. That night, Elias and Mara leave the palace secretly. They travel to a small village several days away, where Elias once worked as a bartender during his travels. He believes they can hide there while Mara decides what she truly wants. Mara begins working at the local tavern. At first, the villagers are suspicious of her. But just as before, she wins people over through her kindness. She helps carry barrels, repairs broken furniture, and protects the tavern when drunk travelers cause trouble. Soon, everyone loves her. Elias watches her become part of the community. For the first time, Mara seems genuinely happy. She laughs more. She tells jokes. She sings while working. And Elias realizes something terrifying. He is completely in love with her. But then Lord Cedric arrives. He has followed them. Instead of arresting Mara, Cedric asks to speak privately with Elias. Elias expects the nobleman to threaten him. Instead, Cedric reveals something unexpected. He does not want to marry Mara either. The king forced the arrangement upon him. Cedric explains that he has fallen in love with someone else, a commoner who works in the capital. He has been afraid to tell his family because they would never accept her. Elias is shocked. Cedric tells him that Mara deserves the same freedom. He also warns Elias that the king will never allow Mara to simply disappear. Before leaving, Cedric gives Elias a final piece of advice. He tells Elias that if he truly loves Mara, he must stop hiding behind noble words and tell her the truth. That evening, Elias finds Mara outside the tavern. She is watching the sunset. Elias sits beside her. He tells her about his fears. He admits that he was afraid of losing her. He admits that every time he imagined her marrying Cedric, it broke his heart. And finally, he tells her that the words he spoke to her that day in the blacksmith were not just a compliment. He meant them. He thinks whoever marries her will be lucky. But more than that, he wants to be the man who gets that chance. Mara's eyes fill with tears. She reminds him of what she whispered to him before. She tells him that she had hoped it would be him. Then she leans closer. For a brief moment, everything seems perfect. But their happiness does not last. A messenger arrives with terrible news. The Bloodfang clan has attacked the capital. Garrick is not dead. And he has discovered that Mara is hiding with Elias. But this time, Garrick is not coming for his sister. He is coming for the man she loves. The message ends with a warning. Bring Mara to the mountains, or the human kingdom will burn. Mara immediately realizes what Garrick is doing. He is using her love for Elias against her. And now she faces the most difficult choice of her life. She can stay with Elias and risk thousands of lives. Or she can leave him and surrender herself to the clan. But Elias refuses to let her make that choice alone. Mara and Elias return to the capital, knowing that Garrick's threat is more serious than anything they have faced before. The king's soldiers prepare for war, but Mara knows that a direct battle could lead to thousands of deaths. The Bloodfang clan has gathered in the mountains, and Garrick has united several powerful orc tribes under his command. The king blames Mara. He believes the entire crisis exists because she refused to accept the arranged marriage. Mara is ordered to surrender herself. Elias refuses. He tells the king that Mara is not responsible for Garrick's actions. But the king gives Elias a choice. Either Mara goes to the Bloodfang clan, or the human army marches into the mountains. Mara realizes that Elias will never abandon her. So she makes a decision. She secretly leaves the capital during the night. Elias discovers her disappearance the following morning. He is furious. He knows exactly where she has gone. Mara has returned to the mountains. She plans to surrender herself in exchange for peace. Elias follows her. After several days of traveling, he reaches the ancient Bloodfang fortress. There, he discovers the truth. Garrick is not simply threatening to attack the humans. He is planning to awaken an ancient creature buried beneath the mountains. The creature is known as the Stoneheart, an enormous beast believed to have been created by the first Orc kings. According to legend, whoever controls the Stoneheart can destroy entire cities. Garrick believes the creature will allow the orcs to defeat the human kingdom forever. But Mara knows the truth. The Stoneheart cannot be controlled. If awakened, it will destroy humans and orcs alike. Mara confronts her brother. Garrick tells her that their father always believed the humans would eventually destroy the orcs. He says war is inevitable and that the only way to survive is to strike first. Mara tells him that their father was wrong. Garrick laughs. He says Mara has become weak because of Elias. Then he reveals his final weapon. He knows Mara loves Elias. Garrick threatens to kill him unless she helps awaken the Stoneheart. Mara agrees. But secretly, she plans to sabotage the ritual. Elias arrives at the fortress just before the ritual begins. He confronts Mara. She is furious that he followed her. She tells him that she is trying to save him. Elias responds that he never asked to be saved. He reminds her that she once told him she wanted to choose her own life. Mara breaks down. She admits that she has spent her entire life believing that love was something she could never have. She tells Elias a secret she has never revealed to anyone. When Mara was a child, she was cursed by an ancient blood-fang shaman. The curse was meant to make her a perfect warrior. Whenever Mara experiences overwhelming love or fear, the curse transforms her body into a monstrous form. Her father used the curse to control her. Whenever Mara disobeyed, he threatened to force her transformation and unleash the monster within her. Mara escaped the clan before she completely lost control. But now the curse is getting stronger. Elias realizes why Mara has always been afraid of love. She was not afraid that Elias would reject her. She was afraid that loving him would destroy him. Elias takes her hand. He tells her that she is not a monster. Mara says she does not know if she can control herself. Elias tells her that he believes she can. Then Garrick begins the ritual. The ground shakes. The mountain cracks open. A massive roar echoes through the underground chambers. The stone heart awakens. Chaos erupts. Mara transforms. Her body grows larger, her eyes glow, and her strength becomes almost uncontrollable. For a moment, Elias is terrified. But instead of running away, he approaches her. He calls her by name. Mara struggles against the curse. She remembers the village. The tavern. The people she helped. And Elias. Slowly, she regains control. The curse begins to weaken. Garrick attacks her. Mara refuses to fight him. Instead, she tells her brother that she will not continue their father's legacy. She will not become a monster simply because the world expects her to be one. Garrick refuses to listen. He attacks again. This time, Mara defeats him. But she refuses to kill him. The stone heart continues to rise. Mara realizes that only one person can stop it. Her. She uses the last of her strength to destroy the ancient magic controlling the creature. The mountain begins collapsing. Elias grabs Mara's hand. Together, they escape. When they emerge from the fortress, the entire Bloodfang army witnesses what happened. Mara saved both humans and orcs. Even Garrick finally understands that she was never weak. She was stronger than all of them because she chose mercy when she had every reason to choose revenge. The war ends. The human king agrees to peace negotiations. But Mara is still afraid. She believes that Elias may now see her differently after witnessing her transformation. That night, she prepares to leave. Before she can go, Elias finds her. He tells her that she once said she hoped he would be the one to marry her. Mara looks away. Elias takes her hand. He tells her that nothing has changed. He still believes whoever marries her will be lucky. Then he smiles. But I'm done wondering who that person will be. Mara looks at him. Elias kneels. He asks her to choose him, not because of politics, not because of peace, and not because anyone ordered her to. But because she truly wants him. Mara begins to cry. Then she says yes. But their story is not over. Because the human king has one final demand. If Elias and Mara marry, their marriage could unite humans and orcs. But it could also make them targets for enemies who want the war to continue. And on the morning of their wedding, a mysterious assassin arrives at the palace. The assassin carries a message. The war may be over, but the hatred is not. The morning of Mara and Elias's wedding begins with celebration. For the first time in generations, humans and orcs gather together in the same place without raising weapons against one another. The royal palace is decorated with flowers, banners, and symbols representing both kingdoms. Mara stands before a mirror, wearing a beautiful white and gold dress designed by human tailors and orc craftsmen. She looks nervous. Not because she is afraid of the wedding. She is afraid of happiness. For most of her life, Mara believed she was destined to live alone. She had been raised as a warrior, feared by humans, rejected by her own clan, and cursed by her father's cruelty. Now, somehow, she has found a home. And she has found Elias. But outside the palace, danger is approaching. The mysterious assassin's warning has spread through the capital. The assassin belongs to a secret organization called the Ashen Hand, a group of extremists who believe humans and orcs can never live together. They have spent years secretly encouraging hatred between the two races. The Bloodfang clan was only one part of their plan. The Ashen Hand now intends to assassinate Mara and Elias during the wedding. Their goal is simple. If the two lovers die, the fragile peace will collapse. Humans will blame the orcs. Orcs will blame the humans. And war will begin again. Elias discovers the plot shortly before the ceremony. He immediately tells Mara. Instead of running, she makes a decision. She will not allow fear to control her life anymore. The wedding continues. Thousands of people gather in the palace courtyard. Human soldiers stand beside orc warriors. Mara walks down the aisle. Elias waits for her. For a moment, everything is peaceful. Then the attack begins. Arrows rain down from the rooftops. Assassins emerge from the crowd. The courtyard erupts into chaos. Human guards immediately suspect the orcs. Orc warriors prepare to defend themselves. The Ashen Hand has achieved exactly what they wanted. Confusion. Hatred. Fear. Mara realizes what is happening. She climbs onto the palace steps and shouts for everyone to stop fighting. But nobody listens. A human soldier attacks an orc. An orc warrior responds. Within seconds, a battle begins. Mara and Elias fight side by side. But this time, they are not fighting an enemy army. They are fighting the hatred that has divided their people for generations. Mara refuses to kill unnecessarily. She protects human soldiers from orc attackers. Elias protects orcs from human soldiers. Slowly, people begin to realize what is happening. They see a human man risking his life for orcs. They see an orc woman risking her life for humans. The cycle begins to break. Meanwhile, the leader of the Ashen Hand appears. He reveals that the entire war between humans and orcs was manipulated by his organization. They secretly supplied weapons to both sides. They spread false rumors. They arranged attacks and blamed them on the opposing race. Their goal was to keep the two kingdoms fighting forever. Mara is furious. She realizes how many lives were lost because of their lies. The leader attacks Elias. Mara jumps between them. She is seriously wounded. Elias catches her as she falls. For a moment, Mara believes she is dying. She looks at Elias and apologizes. She tells him that she is sorry they never had the chance to live a peaceful life together. Elias refuses to accept it. He reminds her of the first time they met. He reminds her of the blacksmith. He remembers the words she whispered. "I was hoping it was you." Elias tells her that she cannot leave him now. Not after finally choosing him. Mara smiles. Then she hears something. The sound of hundreds of footsteps. The Bloodfang warriors have arrived. Garrick is leading them. But this time, he does not come to fight the humans. He comes to fight beside them. Garrick tells Mara that he finally understands their father's greatest mistake. Their father believed strength meant forcing others to obey. But Mara has shown him that true strength means choosing mercy. The Human King and Garrick join forces. Together, Humans and orcs defeat the Ashen Hand. The organization's leader is captured, and the truth about the war is finally revealed. The kingdoms are shocked. For generations, they believed they were natural enemies. Now they realize that they were manipulated into hating one another. The war ends permanently. Months later, Mara and Elias finally have their wedding. This time, there are no political agreements. No kings forcing them together. No clan traditions. No threats. Only two people choosing each other. Mara walks toward Elias. He takes her hands. Before the ceremony begins, Elias quietly whispers, "You know, I still believe whoever marries you will be lucky." Mara smiles. She leans closer and whispers, "I was hoping it was you." Elias laughs. Then he tells her that he finally understands. He was not lucky because he married an orc princess. He was lucky because he married Mara. The woman everyone once feared. The woman who protected those who hated her. The woman who could have chosen revenge but chose kindness instead. Their marriage becomes the symbol of a new era. Humans and orcs begin rebuilding together. The village that once feared Mara becomes the first place where human and orc families live side by side. The blacksmith where Mara once worked becomes a school where young humans and orcs learn together. And Elias continues traveling, but never alone. Wherever they go, people tell stories about the human swordsman and the orc girl who changed two kingdoms. Years later, children ask Mara whether the stories are true. She always smiles. She tells them that the stories are exaggerated. But Elias always disagrees. He says the stories never exaggerated enough. Because the truth is simple. Mara was never the monster everyone feared. She was simply a girl who spent her life waiting for someone to look beyond her appearance. And when Elias finally did, he discovered something the entire world had failed to see. The woman everyone thought was dangerous was actually the one who saved them all. And the man who once told her, "Whoever marries you will be lucky," eventually realized that he was the luckiest man in two kingdoms.